Guys, is Lisa with Geek Girl Finds. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. So today I'm going to be doing a video about the keto diet, ketogenic diet, keto lifestyle, whatever. Basically a journey that I have taken to improve my life, my quality of life, my health, everything. And a lot of people have reached out to me asking for information on it and how I got started and why I got started. So before we get into it, please put a like on this video, please. I like likes. And also don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any future updates on what I'm doing. So anyways, let's get into it. So keto diet. Why did I start getting it? Keto diet is it's a pretty popular diet. You hear a lot about these days, definitely more than I did a year and a half ago, or wasn't even a year and a half ago I started. I want to say I started in May of last year, or the year prior. So I want to say it's like a year and a few months that I've been doing it. Why did I get into why did the keto diet speak to me, I guess is the question. Well, I've tried weight loss things over the years and they don't work. They're not sustainable to me. And just all in all, I felt like they were quick fixes, and it's just things that just didn't work for me. You know, the calorie counting and then this and that, or supplements, and it's not for me, and it always seemed really freaking expensive. So it just wasn't for me, and every time I would get off the diet, I would gain everything back and then some. I really felt like some of the way these diets were, it was messing with my body, like inflammation, my metabolism got screwed up. I mean, it's just nothing was good. So I was looking for a diet when I was researching on Dr. Google, of course, something that would help me with some major problems I was having in my life. Top one, fibromyalgia. I have a lot of inflammation in my system and my nerves are overactive, and I needed something to kind of squash that a little bit, because as a result of that, I was putting on weight because I was in pain all the time. I couldn't move. And that's not a way to live. And sadly, this went on for me for a very long period of time. And I've done untold amounts of damage to my body. And I'm trying so hard to fix that now for multiple reasons. I'm getting older. Second reason, I don't have health insurance right now. And I need to take steps on my own to, make sure that when I do get to go back to a doctor, that I'm not stuck, they don't find out I'm diabetic or just something horrible. Also, with the inflammation, I was having a lot of swelling in my lower extremities and even in my fingers, like hands and feet, ankles. It would get so bad, like you could press into my skin and it would dent. And that's very uncomfortable. It's hard to exercise when your skin feels so tight. It feels like it's going to break. So I had some hypertension going on. That's one of the side effects of it. My blood pressure was high. I mean, my cardiovascular health wasn't great. Why? Because I was sitting all the time. I had no energy. It hurt to move. So there were all these underlying problems that were just steamrolling into another major problem, is just me putting on weight and continuing to feel worse. So you either at some point in your life, you get fed up and you just go, look, there's got to be a better way. So, or you just give up and just accept the rest of your life is going to be garbage. And I can't do that. I still have too many more things I want to do. So, yeah, and I just had no energy. I felt just terrible all the time. So I made the decision to start researching. I watched a lot of YouTube videos of a lot of great health professionals here on YouTube with a lot of really good information. Read a lot of articles in health blogs, health magazines, trying to find out what would be the best thing for me. The keto diet seemed to be best because as I was reading and finding out, a lot of these carbs that we consume, the breads, the pastas, the potatoes, the corn, all these things really are a big factor in inflammation in our bodies. And sadly, when they did the food chart in the 70s or whatever, the big base of that food pyramid was just carbs and grains and pastas, rice, stuff like that, and saying that needed to be a major part of our diet. Well, from what I've seen in America, that's not really working out well for us, because we have higher rates of diabetes and problems related to that in our country than we've ever had. We didn't used to have this weight epidemic and all the epidemics that go along with it in this country. We did not have that before. So clearly there's a problem in the way we're doing things. So I really had to look back, and it's like, there's something wrong, and I clearly need to do the opposite, because whatever, the food pyramid's telling me is not right. So in my research, I ran across the keto diet, which basically, if you're new to it and it's complete, let me tell you, when I first read about it, I was like, this goes against everything I've ever been taught. Now, this is a diet where your daily calories or your intake or whatever needs to be, imagine a pie chart. It needs to be 75% fats. That doesn't need vegetable oil and garbage stuff, like good, healthy sources of fat, like avocados, coconut oil, even avocado oil, olive oil, good quality things. So we'll get into that. And then the remaining, if you're doing, let's just say 75% is fats, the healthy fats. Let's make that easy. And then the remaining, let's say 20% can be protein. And then 5% of that, making that a full chart, it should be your daily carb intake. Those should be the carbs coming from your calories. These are your macros. And I was like, hold on. You're telling me to eat fat when I know my whole life, and probably everyone else's whole life, because I've gotten this reaction whenever I've talked to anybody about this diet. They're like, fat? Well, we've been told to eat low fat and fat free for all these years. I mean, companies have made billions of dollars off these products. They're chock full of carbs, and they're not good for you. There's nothing good about them. Farmers back in the day, they didn't have low-fat options. This just it's not right. Why did we switch to this way of thinking? So anyways, it was very interesting. Another interesting part was, like, as you're getting used to being on the keto diet and you start going into ketosis, like, one of the ways to help with the keto flu, which I'll talk about, was salt. You need salt. What the hell? You're telling me to eat salt too on top of that? I was like, this is bizarre. But the more research I did, the more it made sense. And I'll link to some really great channels that I watch frequently, several doctors on YouTube, and they explain things in such a way that a light went off in my head. So anyways, what I did to begin with is once I made the decision to do this wild and crazy diet, as it seemed to me at the time, I downloaded, at the recommendation of some other keto type channels or doctors on YouTube, I downloaded the Carb Manager app, which is available on the Google Play Store and iOS. And basically, you go through and you put in your weight, your height, like how much weight do you want to lose? What kind of diet are you doing? Are you doing low carb or whatever? And it tells you, based on those numbers, what you need to be eating per day. So it sets down a guideline. It doesn't tell you what to eat, but your job is to be honest with yourself and start putting in those foods. They have search options. You can scan packages of food and it'll put it in there for you. I mean, it's very easy to use. And what I did, I was like, okay, let me download the app. I want to get a good idea. What am I putting in my body and where am I going wrong? And I just, through like a normal week of just what I ate, I put in that app. And what the app was telling me what I should be eating in carbs. Like, I think it's telling me 21 grams of carbs a day max. A lot of people just stick to 50 or under, but I needed to get better fast, and I have a lot of weight to lose. So I stuck with the 21 grams of carbs a day or less. I was like 500 grams of carbs a day compared to 21 that I should be taking in for this to work properly. And it was alarming. And so over the next month, a few weeks, a month and a half, 2 months almost, I started just slowly seeing the source of my carbs. Where were they coming from? Got rid of French fries. Those are disgusting. Don't put them in your body. Not even on a cheat day. Very high source of sugar, carbs, whatever. These are things that, honestly, when you eat them, they're bad because you feel tired afterwards. You feel yucky. Breads I started getting rid of. Now, that was a hard one. I love bread. I love biscuits. I love biscuits and gravy. I'm a girl from the South. So that was a tough one. So, but it was, this wasn't something I woke up in the middle of the night and went, hey, I'm going to make a change. This was something because my body had been running on sugar, carbs, all of this bad stuff for my whole life. And I knew if I just did this like that, I would feel like garbage. It's almost like detoxing off heroin. Slow and steady wins the race. You just don't do it overnight. That's not good. You're going to get sick. I mean, that's a great analogy. People detoxing off heroin get very sick. It's not pretty. Sadly, I've seen this in my life. But anyways, so because you're teaching your body, the purpose of all this is you're teaching your brain, your body, everything, like all your internal organs, everything. You're not running on sugar anymore because your body's been running on sugar. Lots of insulin, lots of glycogen. You're telling your body, look, we're not doing this anymore, but I'm going to slow and steadily get you off this. And then you're teaching your body to become a fat burner by burning your own fat and burning the fat that you're putting in it. You're teaching your body a different way of doing things. And the body is very smart. It knows how to switch from doing this. It just needs you to do it. You are the outside source. So it was very slow and steady. That's the key point. Basically, the point of that, change your fuel source, because we all need fuel. We're like little engines that could. And we needed a different fuel source, because the fuel source that's in our food right now that the majority of us eat it's not good. But anyways, also quick side note, before making any major diet changes, talk to your doctor. If you're diabetic, especially, there are certain things that might not be good about this diet. I mean, it's just check, do your research. I'm not suggesting anybody do this, but the people that are looking into it, this might be some helpful information. So I already covered using an app. So then next is your body's getting used to a diet on healthy fats. Not vegetable oils, as I mentioned. So basically what I started doing is a big part was I started getting rid of processed foods. And, and that's a lot. I just didn't buy a lot of packaged stuff. I was eating, let's say, eggs, chicken thighs, bacon, pork, all different types of cuts of pork. When you're doing this and you're rearranging your whole life and how you view food, you will read a lot of labels and be horrified at what you've been putting in your body all along. I joked with one friend that now when I go into a store and I look at the labels on everything and I put them in the carb counter, I have literally looked at a package and went, oh my God, and thrown it back at a shelf. Like it burned my hands because it's just bad. But there's a lot of keto-friendly recipes online. Instagram is a fantastic source. There's lots of great information here on YouTube, lots of channels that test out recipes. So there's ways to do this, and it's really a simple diet. I probably save more money now not buying all the crap at Walmart. I mean, like I was saying, my diet is, proteins, eggs, cheese. I've been cutting back on the eggs, but that's for a different reason. That's in another video. Nothing for health reasons. I just not. But yeah, coconut oil, or healthy oils, avocados. My diet's become pretty basic, but I kind of like that. I know what I'm looking forward to every day, and it's the thing was with eating a healthy fat diet, the foods are they're so rich in a way you're not left feeling deprived. Now, one big thing when I started off, I was not watching my calories because I just didn't feel that was the right thing to do at that point. I mean, I was still watching what I eat and what I put in. I didn't gorge myself or anything, but I wasn't watching my calories because I figured if I did too much to myself too soon, that might freak me out mentally, and I might just go, ew, I don't want to do this anymore. So I let myself eat what I should be eating on the keto diet, but I wasn't concerned about calories or quantities. That's the point I'm making. That is something I implemented probably about 6 months in. I gave myself a good amount of time to really switch to being, they like to call it fat adapted, and that's where your body is used to running on fat. It knows how to operate. It's, because there were times at first I really struggled, and I would be really great for a week, and then I would have pizza on the Saturday. Things like that. And I couldn't be hard on myself because I knew this is a major lifestyle change. This wasn't going to be overnight. It was a little bit before I just went full tilt. Now, weight loss. When I did, I started losing weight right off the bat, and a lot of it was water weight, because you lose a lot of water weight at first, like 10 freaking pounds in just a few amount of days. It's amazing. And that's where a lot of that inflammation is. We have all this water weight hanging on to us. It's weighing us down. So I covered calorie counting. Now, a lot of people, as they're starting the diet, they have what they call the keto flu. Keto flu is, the symptoms are like headaches, thirst, they'll have some muscle cramps, changes in sleep, various things that affects everybody differently, but you just feel kind of run down, lack of energy, because your body's switching from running from sugar to fat. Your body's adjusting itself. One thing that really got me through that little hump is I would take I reuse this. This isn't actual Gatorade, but I would take 2 teaspoons of the apple cider vinegar. Don't use the clear stuff. Use the of the mother, like Bragg's, anything that says organic and of the mother. Use that. I use 2 tablespoons. Put it in a water bottle with the splash of this stuff called no salt. I think in Canada it's called new salt, NU salt. But it's potassium. It's pretty much all it is. So some like pink Himalayan salt, 2 pinches of that, some apple cider vinegar, as long as you can take it, some of the no salt, and if you need to, you could put some stevia in there. I don't need all that business. It doesn't have to be sweet. But the minerals from the salt and all the goodness that's in apple cider vinegar, the of the mother, the organic kind, and the potassium from the no salt really kind of just set me right as rain again. The headaches dissipated. Another big thing, stay hydrated. Your body you're losing a lot of water weight, especially at first. You're going to be peeing all day long. I'm still peeing all day long. It's actually gotten worse. But I've kind of switched up my keto diet. I'll leave a link up to those videos up in the corner here. And there's a reason for that. But I drink water all day long. So yeah, so that's one of the side effects. But if you drink, this miracle cure, it works very well. You can also Google or, go on YouTube and type in Keto Flu. There's a lot of great videos. And it's basically the same recipe, but slight variations. So one thing is, so keto diet, the whole point is you want to get into ketosis. Ketosis is basically when you're just becoming a fat burning machine. Let's just simplify it. You're just becoming a fat burner. You're not only, you get ketones in your bloodstream. They have testing strips and all that, but I've never bothered with any of that. But ways that I know I'm in ketosis, and some of these aren't pleasant, is my breath. Oh my God. I feel like I'm constantly having to go brush my teeth. Especially if I get a little dry. It's just a weird smell that I get, like, in my breath. It's something strange. And I'm like, if I'm talking to people, I'm like this. Or turning away. But my appetite definitely gets suppressed when I'm in ketosis. I have more increased focus and energy. One thing I do love about this diet, my focus, I feel like my brain is operating better. Maybe it's because it's not running on sugar all the time anymore. I would get a little tired. Sometimes, especially at the beginning, I would get a little tired. And also that's part of with the keto flu, like you'll have short-term decrease in your performance. But once you get fat adapted, as they call it, things just get a lot easier. You have lots of energy. You want to get up and move. I'm able to, talking about like how I felt before earlier, I'm able to go swim laps at the Y now. I'm able to go walk the park with Jason. I'm not winded walking to the bus stop. The changes in my life have been really astounding. My blood pressure's lower now. My pulse rate, which was really high, is lower. Just amazing things have occurred. Lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight this last month. I lost, I think, 23 pounds in the last month, but that's because I switched to doing the keto diet with the intermittent fasting, or the OMAD, the 1 meal a day. That really seemed to kick things into gear, but that is nothing I recommend to do if you're just getting into, learning to do the keto diet. That's too much, too fast. But in the last year and a few months total, I've lost 79 pounds. So that's pretty incredible. That's like a whole small person. But yeah, so it's gone really well for me. I know Jason's been to the doctor, and his cholesterol, he's been doing it with me. He's more of he vacations into it. He gets into ketosis really fast, drops like 10 pounds, and then he'll take a break for a couple of weeks and eat pizza while I'm so jealous. But I'm actually at a point now when I start seeing foods like that, it actually makes me sick. Like, I don't want it anymore. But that's something that comes with time. Because like I said at first, you're going to have cravings because you're like a heroin addict. You're like a crackhead, Your body's not used to, running this way. Sorry, I'm checking my notes. See if there's anything else I'm forgetting. But I think I covered most of it. If y'all have any questions, let me know. If you want to see my videos about the intermittent fasting in conjunction with the keto diet, like I said, I will leave those links in the iCard above in the corner. But yeah, so if you have any questions, again, I'm not a diet professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare person, but I've done a lot of research, and I could tell you, unlike any diet in the past, this does not leave me feeling like I'm missing out on anything. I really, at first, I will say the missing the breads was hard. It was hard to not have or start having less, and tortillas, things like that. But you start to find other alternatives. Like now they make these low carb tortillas. They're absolutely delicious. I don't recommend having more than 2, but there are ways to do this where you can still feel like you're eating the way before. Like now I loved mashed potatoes before. Now I do cauliflower mashed potatoes. There's lots of recipes online for that. It's cheap as dirt to make. And if you get really, creative with the seasoning, it's really delicious. Even got Jason to eat it. So follow me on my Instagram too. From time to time, I kind of post meal ideas or things that I've toyed and played with. I've even made coconut flour based keto friendly bread. I'm still kind of toying with that recipe a little bit. I want to get the carbs down, but also don't forget, if you're looking into doing this or just kind of want to see how many carbs you're eating in a day, like where can you make some small changes, whether you want to just do just a low carb diet and you're not really concerned about the high fat part. If you just want to get rid of some of those unhealthy things, that Carb Manager app and other apps like it are really helpful because it really lets you see, what you're putting into your body. But yeah, anyways, I'm rambling at this point. I will say this, I miss fruit. I miss bananas. Can't eat those. That sucks. But yeah, whatever. It's not a big deal. The way I feel is the best. So it's all worth it. It's all good. But anyways, that is it. I'm going to shut up now and let y'all go. Thank you so much if you stuck through this with me. And I hope any of this information was helpful. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.